everyone. So for this month, I wanted to offer you 4 neck exercises that you can incorporate into your daily yoga practice and just simply your daily life. Our neck is not a particular body part that we focus a lot on strengthening, and yet it's something that we use every day, and a lot of us suffer from neck pain as a result of weak necks. So I wanted to offer you these 4 strengthening exercises to help show you ways to strengthen your neck and hopefully in the end negate the neck pain that you may have. There's many neck exercises you can do, and these are just a few that I thought would be most helpful to your practice. So the first one that I'm going to show you is just simply a shoulder shrug. So our muscles are meant to do one thing, and that's contract. So when we contract the shoulder muscles, and we contract and we contract and contract, at a certain point they're going to get so tired, all they have left to do is relax. So through that aspect of contracting, you will feel deep neck releasing. So that being said, you can do this work from either a comfortable seated position. You just want to have some distance between your fingers and the floor. So you can also use a block underneath your sitting bones. You can sit on a bolster. You can also stand up and do this. So we'll take the arms down by our side, bring the chin parallel to the chest, and draw back a little bit. So we're adding a little bit of a tucked chin here, lengthening through the back of the neck. And then you'll take a really deep breath in, and you'll shrug the shoulders all the way up towards your ears, maintaining that tucked chin. And you just want the arms to just kind of dangle and hang in space. And you're going to continue to shrug the shoulders all the way up to the ears, almost as if your arms are going to become this new set of earrings, like you could swallow your arms into your ears and your neck completely disappears at this point. And you'll hold this, if you can, from anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds. So the chin stays tucked, you can close your eyes, and you keep shrugging, keep shrugging, keep shrugging, keep shrugging, keep shrugging. And you're gonna feel all the surrounding area of the neck, the shoulders get really tense and contracted. And keep shrugging, and we'll hold it here for another 5 seconds. So holding for 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on that 5th breath or that final breath, you'll take a nice deep breath in, and then as you exhale, just let it completely release down. And then allow for a few breaths just to sense that new feeling of space between the tops of your shoulders and your earlobes, from the top of the chest to the chin, to the upper back, to the base of the skull. And you'll just feel so renewed in that space. So this is something that you could do while you're driving, or you're stuck in traffic, or at home cooking, waiting for the next thing to be done. So the next exercise I want to offer you is called blockhead. You will literally take a block, and we're going to play with positioning it on various parts of the head as we move our neck through flexion and extension and lateral flexion, side to side movement. So first, step 1, I'll show you from the side. You'll place the block, holding it between your hands, right up against the forehead. So notice here, if you can, try to tune into the posture. If you're already pushing into the block and poking the chin forward, or you're pushing the head back and leaning back. So we want to try to stay on that central axis. We want to keep the chin parallel to the chest. And then as you begin to hold the block and press the block into your forehead, you want to apply that same amount of pressure of the head pressing into the block. So you start to feel the back of the neck and front of the neck activating. You feel almost kind of like a sense of tension in that area. So you'll continue to hold this, so anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds. And then from here, as you kind of get more situated with that feeling of pressing forehead into block, block into forehead, then you're gonna add a little bit of neck flexion and extension. So as you continue to maintain the pressure between block and forehead, you're gonna slowly, kind of maintaining that slight tuck in the chin, slowly start to take the head up and back into neck extension. And then from there, keep pressing forehead into block, block into forehead, slowly take it back into that neutral position. And then all the way down into neck flexion. And as you continue to do this work, do your best to not let the block or the head do more of the pushing. We want to keep equal amount of pushing between the both. And then you'll come back to center. Whew, and then release that. And you really feel that strong sense of work through the front of the neck. So the next step from there is then to take the block to the right side of your head. And we're going to move between lateral flexion in the neck. So side to side movement. So just like the front, you'll press block into the side of the head, head into the side of the block. Yeah, and you're gonna feel that right side of your neck really working. And then from here, you're gonna slowly, as you keep that applied pressure between the two, take left ear to left shoulder. And then slowly back up, keep pressing between the two. And then right ear to right shoulder, keep pressing between the two. And then back up. And then you'll release out of that, just kind of feel that, and then take that, do that to the left. So right, left, with the side bending. And then the next step is to take the head and the block behind you, and then so the same position as the front. So again, notice that the head block isn't pushing the forehead forward and the chin forward, and you're not leaning back into it. We want to try to keep that straight plumb line, chin parallel to the chest. So as you hold the block behind back of skull, you'll press back of skull into block, block back into back of skull, and then from there, slowly take the head back into extension. So you'll notice this way, the extension might be a little bit easier than when we had the forehead against the block. And then slowly come back up, and then pressing, and you'll take the head into flexion. So now flexion becomes a little bit harder because we more have that backward pressure. So as you take the chin in, keep pressing up through the back of the skull. So we get the back of the neck to really work. And then you'll slowly come back up. And then release that, and you can do as many reps of all of that as you want. The more you do, the more strength you're gonna build in your neck. So we call that exercise blockhead. So the third exercise that I'm gonna give you, you're gonna come down onto your back, and just as you do core work in your abs, you can also do core in your neck. So your neck has a core. So we're gonna lay down. And just to give you kind of your body the understanding, you'll place your hands onto your belly rib cage. And for the first round, just do an actual curl up so that you can feel your abdominal muscles engaging. Yeah? And then kind of tune into, all right, these are my abdominal muscles. I feel them engaging. And then you're gonna slowly start to lower back down until you feel your abdominal muscles completely relax and you feel your neck core turn on. So you won't be too far up away from the mat. So then once you're there, hold it, and you're gonna play with keeping, again, that tucked chin. We're going to rotate the head to the right. And as you rotate the head, we wanna make sure we're staying on that axis.
So the chin stays parallel to the top of our shoulder, and then you'll come back to center. So what we don't want to happen is the chin to drop down and we look down. Keep from your chest, the chin parallel all the way through the rotation. And then you come back to center, reset, rotate the head to the other side, and then back to center. So you can do 3 reps of that, and then lower back down. Give yourself a rest because you will feel this very strongly in your neck. And then on your next exhale, you'll lift back up. Again, the hands are there to remind you we're not trying to engage your abdomen. We're just lifting high enough so that we feel this neck core engage. So the next part of this work is then taking your head and moving into the side bending, so that lateral flexion. So we'll side bend, right ear to right shoulder, and then back through center. Whew. And then left ear to left shoulder, back to center. So again, you can do that 3 reps or more, and then lower back down. Whew. Okay, and then the last part of that work, on your next exhale, you'll lift up, and then again, we want the core relaxed, neck core on. We'll tuck the chin in, so find even more of that flexion in the neck, and then slowly tilt the head back without taking the head to the floor, finding that neck extension. And then back up through the center, and then all the way down. So again, you can do up to 3 reps of that or even more. All right, and then just kind of slowly make your way off the ground. So the last exercise we're going to do is bent elbow wall slide with neck counter rotation. So you'll find yourself a completely blank space against the wall. Make sure you have enough room for your arms and your body. So we'll back ourselves up against the wall. And then you can step the feet a little bit away from the wall. So ideally here, as you bring your back body against the wall and you make kind of this more wide cactus position, we're trying to get sacrum against the wall, shoulder blades against the wall, upper arms. So upper arms, elbows, forearms, hands, and wrists, and then back of the skull. Because this is a neck-centric exercise, it's very important that there's maximum pressure moving through the back of the skull, the occiput. So once you find yourself kind of in this almost a dead bug on the wall position, and you'll notice it's pretty hard to keep that, so just kind of keep assessing. Are my hands, my wrists, my forearms, my elbows, my upper arms against the wall? And you may need to play with this positioning, widening it, shortening it, lifting it a little higher so that you can find that max amount of pressure through the back body. So once more, sacrum against the wall, shoulder blades against the wall, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, hands against the wall. And then pressing strongly through back of skull. So again, maximum amount of pressure through these points of contact. So then you'll hold it here. First round, you're just gonna play with pressing through all these points, sliding the arms up, and then sliding the arms down. And this may look easy, but let me tell you, it is so hard as you maintain that pressure. So slide up, slide down. And then the next time, so you'll do that about 3 times. Next time you slide up, you're gonna rotate the head to the right. And then come back to center. Arms, elbows draw down. And then as you slide it back up, rotate back to the left and then back down. And then you're gonna rest. And you're gonna probably feel this extremely intensely the next day. You might be very sore the next day, but eventually the more often you do it, that soreness will negate. One last thing with that work that you wanna keep in mind is that when you're rotating your head, let me pull this a little closer so that you can see me. Okay, when you're rotating your head, you want to make sure, just like that floor work we did, that you're derotating. So we're posteriorly bringing the head back against the wall, pressing it against the wall. So before you take the rotation, back of skull presses against the wall. We want to keep that chin parallel to the chest, parallel to the shoulder as we rotate. So you want to make sure that you're not tilting the head, knocking the head off the axis, keeping the head on the axis. So every time you come back to center, a little bit of derotation has to happen as you press through back of skull. So that is it. Those are your 4 neck exercises. We started with the shoulder shrugs, the block head work, moving the block from the skull, front of the skull to the side, on each side, and to the back of the skull. And then our neck core, and then